You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Code Rome's.
Welcome back to the Hardpoint episode number 26. Oh my God. Moving right along here. My name's Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name's Cody. I go by Code Rome.
And we'd like to tell you welcome back to the show. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'm in a different room in a new house. I keep moving around. I'm keeping you guessing. Undisclosed location type of shit. Damn, gotta bleep
Never
that.
know where it's gonna be next.
I know. I might be outdoors. I might be under the underpass. I might be in a supermarket.
That would be a pretty. If you could find a way to like record with your backdrop, have some mountains in the background or something, that'd be pretty cool.
I could. It would have to be a really still day. Like the only thing about recording anything outside is like the wind whipping sound against the microphone, where it's like. That's my only.
I can't even hear that on my end.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it'll show up. You'll hear it. Discord's funny, man. Yeah, we'll get to it when we talk. What are you crushing? But I've been watching a lot of videos with wind involved, and yeah, like the constant through line is just like people like pointing their phone, and all you can hear is just like indescript like popping in the microphone because of the wind. So.
I guess we should forewarn too that you have some pretty gnarly weather on your way again this week.
I do, yeah.
And
so
last week was kind of centered around that, so we might have part 2 this week.
Yeah. The Twisters, the sequel. Yeah, no, we absolutely. If you missed episode 25, I had to like cut out at one point because of a tornado warning. Decided to burg it through the rest of the episode, and then literally like. As we concluded the episode, I had to get up again because they were put out another warning, and then the power went out while I was editing. So, and now we're under another tornado watch right now. So,
And I just learned from Josh that Medicine Park does not have tornado sirens. Their version of a tornado siren is a cop driving down the street talking on his megaphone, telling people to get inside.
A town crier, literally like, hear ye, tornado warning. He just ringing a bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
No,
Seek
that
shelter.
wouldn't cut it for me. That wouldn't cut it for me.
Yeah, well, luckily the like main road is right by our house, so we heard him loud and clear. But yeah, absolutely bizarre night, and hopefully not a repeat tonight. We'll see.
How'd the house hold up in your first major storm last weekend?
You know, we didn't really catch the brunt of it, man. It was kind of one of the, like, you see the meme after everyone's like, oh, big storm's coming through, and then the picture is like a lawn chair tipped over, and the caption's like, we will rebuild. That's kind of how it was here. Like, we got some pretty like spooky wind, a lot of lightning. So the one thing about Oklahoma, I don't know if it does this in Texas where you're at, the lightning is constant. Here, when there is like a lightning storm or a thunderstorm, it is like a flash every 2 or 3 seconds, easy, and every 15 seconds it's like a big one, like a turns night to day type of flash. So we had that, some wind, and yeah, it was just all the trappings, but nothing really crazy here, you know.
We had one of those. Speaking of like the crazy lightning storms, a few storms back, it was one that was like in the middle of the night. And I just remember in our room, we don't have blackout curtains. We just have regular curtains. So lightning will light up our room. And it was just like boom, boom. Like, I guess not the sound, but the lightning, like the light was just on our room constantly. It was unbelievable how constant it was.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I feel oddly comforted by it, man. We talked about it last week. Like, I know it's not your jam, but I love stormy weather. I really do. I definitely don't want to like lose my house in a tornado or even witness that happen to someone else. But yeah, man, it very intriguing to me. is stormy weather. So it's been.
Here's my problem with it, and this is very much a high thought, a very, very high thought. But maybe I have it because in my area they're building so many houses, so I see the different phases of building a house.
Sure.
Dude, we are surrounded by nothing but like 2x4s.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like this mighty fortress that we call a home. If you see it in the early stages, the bare bone stages, it's a bunch of 2x4s nailed together. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And then they, put some brick on the outside and they roof it, but it is not like some crazy. I don't know. I'm always flabbergasted when I see the houses because I'm like, it's just wood. It's wood nailed together. That's all it is. It's not.
The craziest part to me of a house has to be drywall. Like drywall has got to be like, I mean, if you hit it hard enough, if you just Kyle up, you can put a hole in some drywall. It's pretty flimsy stuff, man. I mean, and that's just supposed to.
If you start thinking about it, you start thinking about it too hard and start looking around. Go up in your attic. I mean, it's just wood.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's just wood. Yeah, man.
It's really, if you think about it too hard and you're anything like me, you'll get a little tripped out. So yeah, when the wind starts whipping and you hear stuff creaking and moving, and then you realize I'm not in a metal fortress.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. And again, we'll get to it in What Are You Crushing, but we'll just say I've watched a lot of videos of houses getting torn to pieces. And,
man.
And it really does look like a confetti explosion when a tornado goes over a house, man. It really just makes them seem like they're made out of paper.
Yes. I forgot to send you that video I was talking of last week. What you're hinting to, I think I know what you've been crushing, even though you haven't flat out said it.
Dropping some strong hints over here.
I'll send it to you after the show.
Yeah.
If one of us remembers.
Okay.
How's got any updates on the move? Any updates on your personal life?
The hard part I feel like is over. Today we cleared out of our old house, which is on the base, and I was sweating that pretty hard just because it's a lot, man. It's a lot, moving your stuff out, making sure you get everything, and then making sure you leave it. I like to leave places clean. I really do. I don't want to leave a mess, but also this is, it's an on-base house, so it's very much a situation like they're going to have people come in behind me either way.
Right.
So I just didn't want to get charged a lot of money, which we kind of did anyway. So you have
good thing the Army was super chill about your messes and let a lot of them slide.
Yeah, right. It's one of those things, man. If you live in a house more than a year when you have little kids, you're paying for something, man. They tear up the blinds. They spill stuff on the carpet. They scratch, they draw on shit, and it's almost like you can't avoid it. And so, we were there a couple months shy of 2 years, so it was just, almost 2 years of, beating up on that house a little bit. We weren't crazy. We weren't in there tearing it up. We didn't have pets, for the most part.
Right.
But yeah, they got us for some money, which is fine. It's fine. I'm trying to let it go, trying to let it be okay, but it's frustrating. So anyway, that part's over. I got everything dealt with. They got me. You know what the most frustrating part was, Cody? So on base, you have 2 trash cans that you can put on the curb for your trash.
Sure.
And I knew ahead of time that you have to have your trash cans empty on inspection day or they will charge you money. Which is the stupidest thing in the world because when you're moving, trash it happens. Trash is part of a move. You're throwing things away that you're like, oh, we haven't used this in years, or it's just you're cleaning a place out and you're like, we forgot to throw all this away. Trash.
Finding things you didn't know you had.
So literally last night, and I don't have a truck right now. So literally last night, God bless my across the street neighbor. Shout out Adam. I don't know if you listen to the show, but if you do, has a truck. He came over. He was like, hey, man, anything you need right now? And I was trying not to I've been doing my best trying not to like put upon people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They didn't choose to move. I did. But I asked him out of sheer just like desperation. I was like, dude, I need to go dump my trash cans somewhere. And so we ended up taking them to the community center of our neighborhood, the people that actually come
Right.
inspect our house. We took it to their dumpster, dumped them in there. Anyway, I dumped my trash cans out. They're empty on inspection day. They charged me $50 because I didn't wash them out. I'm not even
Get outta
kidding.
here.
I'm not
It's
even
a trash can, people.
It is a trash can. It takes 5 seconds with a hose. I was hot. I was straight. After that point, I was like, you can go do the inspection. I'm not going to follow you around because that's going to be frustrating for me.
That's called nickel and diming,
that
ladies
is,
and gentlemen.
that is. And she nickeled and dimed her way through the whole house, and it just felt very petty.
You should have stayed right on her ass, dude. Every step of the way. Every step of the way.
I should have. I have
Make
a
her
pretty
feel real uncomfortable.
I have a pretty imposing presence, so maybe I should have just like De Niro'd her, breathing down her neck. Like, you really want to write that down? So anyway, that's done. That was literally the most stressful part of 2024 for me so far. So we're in the new house. There's shit everywhere. There is no sense of order. It's pure chaos, but we're moved. So
All right.
that saga is complete.
Now, no more moving.
No more moving. It's straight up. You better pay me if you want me to move again. Straight up.
Okay, so now that you're on the other side of this, you're moved in. I know there were a couple moments throughout where you kind of took account of your situation and thought, I could have not moved. I could have just stayed. Everything would have been easier.
Every time
Now
I
that
move,
you're
I think
through
that.
Yeah. How are we feeling now, though? You're on the other side of it. You feeling good? Are you like?
I'm on the come down, man. Like, I haven't been able to relax today.
Sure.
I got back on my antidepressants over this move. Straight up, man. I'll be straight with you. Like, I don't take antidepressants because I'm depressed. I take them because I have extreme anxiety. And yeah, that has been through the roof. So a couple of nights ago, I was like, where are those motherfuckers at, man? Broke into my Lexapro. And I feel a little better. I feel like my anxiety is manageable because it was crippling at one point. I was just falling apart at the seams. So
you just like eat them bare teeth. Just
I do. I put them in a bowl with some milk and just
really
no. No. One at a timesies, like a breath mint. It's my little happy breath mint that keeps me from losing my fucking mind. But yeah, man. This one, with 4 years left until I retire, I kind of want it to be the last, man. I don't want to move again. Moving sucks ass. You could be moving into freaking T-Pain's mansion. And he gave it to you, and you'll still move in your stuff out of your old house and be like, do I really need to do this? I could have avoided all this ass pain. Right. Of course, very different circumstances, but
you could possibly still be sent to live somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Between now and retirement.
Yeah, I'm trying
do
to
have it. Do you have any grasp of like the odds of that, or is it absolutely just totally random?
No, and that's kind of part of why. Like, I have 4 years left, and it absolutely is a crapshoot. Like, a year from now, I could be someplace else, and that's I don't like that, right? Like, I'm trying to kind of massage it and offer myself into positions, for the twilight of my career, if you will, that kind of speak to like, hey, I'm kind of trying to stay here. I'm trying to stabilize my family a little bit because we've never, ever had that. But yeah, absolutely. Like 2 years from now, a year from now, literally a year from retirement, they could be like, hey, you're going here. Sorry. And that's part of
they don't take you. Do they take like your opinion into consideration at all?
So
or are you just told?
They try, man. They really do try to like make deals. And they're really better at bargaining when you're at the last stage of your career. Sure. Because if it's the difference of you leaving and you staying in and taking a job, then they can offer something that's a little bit more enticing. But I'm kind of right in that area where I'm close, but I'm not close enough to just get what I want. Sure. And so they try to listen to you, but ultimately the Army can do whatever they want to you, with you. You are a piece on a chessboard. So yeah, absolutely. Like, I've got 4 years of like, maybe I'll be here next year. And that's kind of driving my decision back toward 20 and done because
Sure.
I've been very fulfilled by this job, but I haven't been in charge of my own destiny in, the entirety of my adult life, essentially. So I've just kind of gone where people thought it would be best for me to go,
Right.
Anyway.
Everybody else knows best for you.
Yeah, all the time. I'm almost 36 years old. People still just like, well, young man, you know what you need to do. How about you? Enough about me.
Oh, man.
Tell me where Cody's been the past 7 days.
Got a lot. We got the nursery done. We got baby incoming. So
we're on final approach.
Man, we're officially at the month where I can say next month, possibly this month.
Yeah.
We're in that window of like, it could actually be any day now, which is really strange.
Let me just say, my birthday is May 31st. Taylor's birthday is June 1st. I don't know why I'm saying this like Donald Trump. Like, my birthday, May 31st. Taylor's birthday, June 1st. Baby could come on my birthday, could come on hers. My birthday, very good birthday. Sorry. So yeah.
I love it.
any day now. We're in any day now era, right?
We are truly in any day now era. I'm ready. I think she's gonna come in June. We were actually just talking about this. I have nothing to base this off of, except feeling.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she's not gonna come in May. Like, I feel like she's a June baby, and she's nice and snug up in there, and she'll be back. she'll be here next month.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Were you? So you and I were both kind of like the first boy. Were you late when you were born?
Yes, I think I was like 2 weeks late.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. What about? Yeah, I was like 10.5 pounds when I was born.
Yep, me too.
And I think it's because we were big old boys. In fact, my buddy has a baby who is like 4 weeks old or 6 weeks old, and he was over the other day, and I'm looking at that baby, and I'm like, I think your baby's like the size I was when I was born, and he's 6 weeks old.
Yeah. I was 10.5 pounds also, man, and I was also 2 weeks late. I remember my mom told my wife when we were dating, not even married. It was before I even joined the Army, as a matter of fact. And I think she knew we were pretty serious.
Sure.
My mom, we're sitting in the living room at our house that we grew up in, and we're watching, I don't know, probably a true crime doc because my mom loves that stuff. And my mom out of nowhere looks at my wife, tiny little 19-year-old at the time. She's like, Leanne, I feel like I need to tell you, the women in this family, they throw big babies.
No.
And my wife, 19 years old, 5'2", is like, oh, yeah?
Your eyes are darting back and forth. Like,
oh, I wanted to evaporate. I was just straight up like, anywhere but here right now would be fine. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I hijacked the conversation. We're in baby time.
We are. Yeah, I don't know. I think she'll be right on time.
Good.
Not a lot to catch up. I need to do a little, this is going to be brief, but fierce rip session.
You got to rip.
I got to rip.
I got to be honest. Is this a vent? Like, is that what ripping is? You got to let off some steam?
It's a vent. It's a, we need to talk. It's a, something's bothering me. Some people need to be ripped.
Am I in trouble?
No.
Okay.
You're
I thought
clear.
You said we need to talk. I'm like, sorry.
Josh, you and I need to talk.
Yeah. This is an intervention. Okay.
Okay.
Rip on, brother.
We, as a society, have too much tipping going on.
Okay.
We have too much tipping going on. Now, let me say,
I'm gonna let you cook.
I'm not talking about
go off, dude.
I'm not talking about waiters. I'm not talking about servers. If you do something for me, there's something in exchange there. What I'm talking about is when I order a fine pizza and I opt for the carryout option over the delivery because I don't want to pay a delivery fee. I don't want to pay a tip. I'm going to get in my car and drive there, and you present me with a tip line. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about
Ain't tipping
when
for
me and
that.
my wife go get frozen yogurt and I pick the bowl up myself. I go fill said bowl up with frozen yogurt and the yummy, delicious toppings myself. And then I come up to the cash register, swipe my card, and you flip your screen around and ask for a tip. What did you do?
Here's the deal. Show me the receipt where you're going to give that. If I were to give a tip, and I want to be clear, I'm Team Cody on this one. I'm not tipping for Subway. I'm not tipping for Wendy's. I'm not tipping for Cold Stone Creamery. I don't even tip at Starbucks. I don't tip unless you got up and brought me the thing to my table and gave me refills and brought me tortilla chips. They get the tip. Show me where you're giving that sad sack behind the register the money. It's a scam, dude. That kid's not getting my money.
Yeah.
Fucking Starbucks and Wendy's are.
Yeah. They're overpriced stuff already. But the one that really set me off, it was the frozen yogurt. I did all the work.
Yeah, you go and put it in the cup, right?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you go get your own cup and you fill it up yourself. You put the toppings on yourself. You do everything. It's self-serve.
Y'all should be paying me to take your yogurt out of here.
Exactly. A discount for all the work I did.
Yeah.
And I take it up there and they flip their screen around and ask for a tip. They didn't do anything.
Zero.
What is that?
Zero. I'm not doing that.
And so now I have the social awkward, like, as much bullshit as I think it is, I cannot look that other person like in the eyes and hit the 0 on that screen because it still just kind of feels like, still makes me feel awkward. Even though you don't deserve a tip in this situation, I'm trying to hit the 0 without you seeing and then get on up out of there so you know I didn't leave a tip.
Mm-mm. There's certain There's certain non-restaurant situations where it is acceptable to tip. When you're getting a tattoo, leave a tip. If
a massage, generally
a valet takes your car, that's okay to tip. When you prepare my Subway sandwich,
no,
you've earned nothing, bro. You've earned your wage.
Right. And I think that's the line right there.
They're getting paid a wage.
Right. If you're getting paid hourly, you don't get a tip. The reason servers get tips is because they make like $1 an hour or something. Like they rely on the tips from the service they give you.
Precisely.
Not these people that make $8, $9, $10 an hour.
Yeah.
You're double dipping. You're double dipping, my friend.
You're double dipping. And I want to I think we need to clarify, like, I got nothing but love for people in the service industry. You will not ever catch me being rude to someone in the service industry. I can't do it. I don't abide it. I don't like eating a meal with someone who's going to be outright just rude to their waitress or even the kid who's making my Subway sandwich. But it is a thing that I think the corporations are trying to add to make me feel like I should. It's like the audacity of, like, this sandwich was $10, which is already way too goddamn much for a Subway sandwich.
Right.
And then you get to the end of the line and the server has to do their shameful, like, turn away. And it's literally feels like the CEO of Subway is being like, little more.
Yep.
Got a little more.
Jersey Mike's we go to. I love Jersey Mike's. You know that. They got a tip thing. This barbecue joint around the corner that we go. You walk up to the counter and order. They have a tip thing. And I'm like, what is this? If you order takeout.
Yeah. At least make it like a jar, because I know for a fact. I have a 98% feeling in my gut when I scan my card at, let's say, Subway, because I think I've been offered this at Subway, and they say it's going to ask you if you want to leave a tip at fucking Subway, and I click, let's say I do 20%, right, like you would at a restaurant, 18, 20%, whatever. Right. That kid's not gonna get it.
No,
it's not even gonna be. I don't even think it's gonna be shared with everyone on the shift.
Right.
Fucking Johnny Subway is gonna get it. It's not going to the kid who even did. I'm not saying he didn't do any work, but he did a marginal amount of work and got paid a wage for it. It's not even going to go to him. That money is going to go. It's going to Subway is just pay like this dipshit just paid 20% extra for his fucking sandwich that was already $12, $13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
This is a good rip. We should do this more often. I'm very hyped up right now.
Man, it's creating awkward interactions and encounter. And I already like I dread it now when I go to pay for something. I'm like, please don't flip that screen around. Please don't flip it.
Flip it back. When they flip it, you're just like,
Nope. So that's my rip, man. We're over tipped. And like I said in the beginning, it's not against servers, waitresses, waiters. Like if you provided me a service and it's expected there's a tip, that's one thing. But if I served myself and then you just flip the screen around at me, I just find that really, 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 really annoying.
I went to that thing in DC a couple weeks ago, and it was a lot of, again, like people from other countries, New Zealand, Australia, Britain. And there in the welcome letter for that event, there was information that was like, when you go to a restaurant, it's customary to tip 18 to 20%. And I talked to them about it. I was like, did you read that? How did that make you feel? And they were like, that's bizarre. They
don't do that overseas.
That is otherworldly to us. In Korea, I lived 3 years in Korea. It's rude to leave a tip. You go sit down. You could be sitting down at one of those revolving restaurants that serve foie gras and have a dress code. If you leave money on the table or any extra money, it's rude.
Yeah.
It just speaks to how fucking rude Americans are.
I know. Asking for, here, I've already paid for the food, but give me a little bit more. Yeah, because when we've been to Europe a couple times, they caught us off guard that you didn't tip. Like I thought I was doing something wrong by not, but you realize it's just they don't do it there. They don't expect it. They're paid a livable wage already, and so the customers, they don't rely on their tips on top of the overpriced food to survive.
Never mind that like most people who work in the service industry right now are having to contend with like what I believe to be probably the rudest restaurant going audience in history. Like legitimately, I see stuff on TikTok and Instagram all the time that I'm like, if I worked in a restaurant, the end of that story is I went to jail. Because if some 60-year-old woman came in and threw the fits that I've seen women or older men throw in these restaurants, they're like, I'm a paying customer. I'll chop your fucking head off with my hand. I don't give a fuck. I will kill. If you're rude to service industry workers, fuck you. Straight up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No,
sorry.
I've been in some restaurants with people before that, maybe it was like they were with who I was with or something like that. We're like one removed. And it is uncomfortable, man. The few times I've been with somebody who is being rude to our server, it's a no-go for me.
I will tell you this, Cody. I'm gonna put you out there, but it's in a good way. I want you to trust me. You're a very particular man. You don't like vegetables. You have very specific requests when you go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I've seen it frustrate you, and I've seen it make you very mad. Never, ever have I ever seen you like be rude to a service industry worker, and that's a testament to the fact that it is possible to order your fucking meal without being a piece of shit.
Yep.
You can, my steak is undercooked. Hey, we ordered wings and there's no ranch. Hey, he knows. It's possible to have a beef or have a gripe without having a beef.
Right.
So anyway, we are 30 minutes in and we just finished. We just finished our intro.
Maybe that could be the meat. We'll get through what are you crushing, and we'll see.
That's a whole
app. This meat that I have to next week if we need to.
I could keep it going. I have a lot to say on that topic. Anyway, hey, that is a good transition point. I'll kick it to you first, man. What in the hell are you crushing this week?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I've hopped back on Fallout 4.
Hell yeah. Okay. It's your turn to talk.
I downloaded Fallout 4. It's on Game Pass, which is glorious.
Hell yeah.
And they just did the next gen update. I don't know if that like aligned with the show purposefully or if it was a coincidence, but obviously we just watched the show. It got me really in Fallout mood. Downloaded it. I have played it before. I've never finished it. I've never given it like a Red Dead type run or anything like that, but I've played it. Um, it's really, really fun, dude. It is. That game is like a vibe, and it's also very creepy, and it's also fun, and it's a little bit of everything. Like there will be parts where you're walking through, and the music is kind of calm and uplifting, and the sunlight and the horizon and the trees. Now everything's dead and brown, but you'll have like some bodies of water, and like there are beautiful shots of ugliness, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
in certain parts of that game. And then there's other parts where it's dark and you're trying to sneak through this town to get to the other side, and it's really creepy, and the music, and you'll see somebody just like pass through an alleyway, and you're like, oh, okay, let's not go that way. And it's cool. I've been not doing fast travel on purpose because I've heard this game really
Wow.
shines. Like the journey is part of the
Yeah.
cool part, right?
Dude, that's radical.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no fast travel. I haven't done it yet. I refuse to do it, and everything's by foot. And I'm having a really good time with it, man. It's really, really, really fun.
Have
And
you
it has a little bit of age, even with the next gen update, but I'm having a great time with it.
it does have a little age. It's coming up on 10 years old, which is crazy to think. A game that came out in 2015. 2015 was such a huge year because you had Fallout 4, Witcher 3, which we both played a little bit of, Metal Gear Solid 5. 2015 is almost 10 years ago, which is bonkers to me. I'm excited for you, man. You
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. With the exception of Starfield, which we both kind of tendered our lackluster opinions on, you have never really played through a Bethesda game.
Not all the way. I played a little bit of Oblivion way back in the day, completely skipped Skyrim, a little bit of Starfield, and then, whatever time I spent with Fallout 4 originally, and that's about it. I've never seen one front to back. Definitely never put, like 100 or more hours into anything.
I feel like this is a really good example of how good the show was, in that I've been aching to play Fallout 4, and of course we've been moving and all my systems are unplugged right now, so I can't. But what a good example of how good the show was, that it can not only reinvigorate the enjoyment of the games for someone like me who's played all the way through Fallout 3, I've played through Fallout 4 2 or 3 times, but
Right.
for someone who's kind of lukewarm on Bethesda games in general, to go in and through the age of the game see the beauty and the enjoyment. One of the best things about the show that the showrunners pointed out is that there's no main character in Fallout. The character is the world. And that's, I think, where the beauty comes in. And it's so awesome to hear that you're enjoying the game, man. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I have some. How far in would you say you are?
I'm not really far. I just got to Diamond City,
Okay.
but I did a lot of.
So you met
It took me a while to get there.
Met Piper. You met Preston
Yeah,
Garvey,
yep.
probably.
Yes, I went
Okay.
to go meet Nick Valentine because one of the people said that he could help me.
Yeah.
And I get there, and the lady's in the office, and she's like, "Yeah, he went missing a while
Yeah.
ago."
Nick.
So I got to go search for him. So I think that's still early on in the story, but I've been taking my time, like exploring. Like I just kind of enjoying being in the world.
I love that you're not fast traveling, man. I think that's like I did a playthrough of Skyrim where I did that. Which, by the way, if you're thinking you can handle a Bethesda game now, it only seems natural as a good human citizen. I need to recommend it. Skyrim is worth a shot, man.
Okay.
But yeah, not fast traveling and just kind of like experiencing those random encounters and experiencing the. In Skyrim's case, you have the benefit of it's kind of like this like serene forest. You really get the sense that you're kind of like traversing like Lord of the Rings type terrain.
Right.
And Fallout is very much, it's a dystopian hellscape, but I think that's a great play. I think that's awesome.
It's cool. And discovering the world, I think you kind of mentioned it when we talked about the show, but you discover it through like the terminals that you can hack
Right.
and read all this info. You find notes and newspapers and letters, and you can go like I think it was the brewery. I found the brewery, and if
Right.
you hack into the terminal at the beginning, there's all this stuff in there that you can read that you can get this whole backstory of who's there, why they're there, what happened, and it gives you this whole context to an area. And discovering the world like that, taking your time, reading everything, exploring, picking stuff up, um, it's really cool. It just paints this context to the world that, it really feels lived in.
Yeah.
Feels like there's a story there. Feels like it has history, and it's unveiled in a really kind of cool fashion. What inspired me to not fast travel is the hardest game mode is called survival.
Yeah.
Are you aware? Okay.
I'm aware.
So
Are you
what
playing survival?
does? No.
Okay.
I'm not. It sounded intriguing, but you don't have fast travel. You do extra damage, but you are dealt extra damage.
Yeah.
There's no HUD. Your carry weight is drastically lowered.
You have to eat and drink. No?
Yeah, to survive.
Yeah.
So I liked the aspect of the no fast travel. I don't know if I could handle the difficulty of survival though. So I just kind of handpicked that one thing from survival. I'm just playing like, I don't know, medium or easy or whatever the standard mode is. But yeah, no fast travel. Loving it so far. I'll give updates as we do episodes.
I'm so excited for you, man. It is really a good game. I've talked about before, but like I really got captivated by the settlement building, which is really like an offshoot mechanic. Like I spent hundreds of hours building settlements in Fallout 4, man. It's insane how much time I spent doing that. The story is great, the missions are great, the side quests are great. But yeah, I spent a lot of time settlement building in Fallout 4. It's just, are you listening to just kind of the generic like background music, or I like the Diamond City radio. I love the old tunes, man.
Oh, you know what? I don't even think. Can you just change the radio?
You can't. Yeah. It's a tab on your Pip-Boy. You scroll over, and you can select Diamond City Radio, and it plays all like there's songs that are in the show there. The I don't want to set the world on fire.
Yeah,
that's in there. Like all kinds of just like old timey songs that really make you kind of like supposed to harken back to the world the world before all the bombs and
I'll
stuff.
change that. That sounds cool. One thing I didn't remember from my first playthrough was the rad storms or the radiation storms.
Yeah,
through,
man.
Dude. Those are wild.
You better get indoors. You go get radiated, man. Straight up.
The
like
first time that happened, I was walking through the drive-in theater, and there's already these things that like pop up and attack you.
Yeah.
And the storm blows in. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
So the
Really cool.
drive-in theater is the best place to do a settlement build because it's basically just like a big open like football field, right? That you can make some, like I had like a high-rise apartment at one point built there that was just fully. We'll have to, next time you come through, man, I'll have to show you. I'll give you a tour of all my settlements. I still have them on my old Xbox, so.
That'd be badass.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
That's
what are you crushing?
Dude, so again, I'm kind of unplugged at the moment. I haven't really had time to like scan or surf like any new shows, movies, or games. I haven't been able to game whatsoever, which sucks.
Right.
Really use the release. I will say as kind of an aside, my wife watched the first episode of Fallout with me when I started it. It was the night before she left for a big trip that she was going on. And she had some context. She had watched me play some Fallout 4, so she was kind of familiar with the world and understood it. Understood the aesthetic at least, or recognized the aesthetic. Watched the first episode with me, and she's like, when I come back and we get settled at the new house, this is what we're watching. Not a question.
Oh, yeah.
So we finally got stable enough to where we could start that up. So I am rewatching Fallout 4 with Leanne, and
I actually want to do that. I really want to do that.
Yeah, she's loving it. It's just as good the second time through, man. It's really good. I haven't really caught anything that slipped past me the first time. I'm hoping that maybe there's some kind of Easter egg that I didn't really catch on to initially, but it's a lot of just little stuff, like kind of recognizing how I did find this out about Fallout. and I'll get to what I'm actually crushing in a second. But a lot of the reason that a lot of the props look so faithful to the games, Bethesda Studios actually gave some of the 3D models to the prop team, and they literally 3D printed game assets as props for use in the show, which I thought is just awesome. There's a lot of like everything from like laser pistols and parts of the power armor and stuff are all, I mean, direct from the game,
straight from the source.
Straight,
that's really cool.
Literally, yeah. So, anyway, loving that, loving to enjoying that with my wife right now. I obviously had to jump off for a little bit last week with the tornado. And it's tornado season right now. I'm living in Tornado Alley. That's been true for a while, but I don't know why, man. My interest in tornadoes has been rekindled in this really weird way. So for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights, I have fallen asleep watching TikToks, YouTube videos, everything regarding tornadoes and just learning about tornadoes. And it's one of those things like, it's like geology or hieroglyphics, man. Like for me, like I feel my brain activate when people start talking about like vortices and stuff like that. Like I like the science, the meteorological aspect of tornadoes is very interesting to me. So I've been reading a lot about that, studying different like famous tornadoes. The 2013 El Reno tornado, the widest ever recorded tornado, was 2.5 miles in width, or 2.6.
What?
I think. And for reference, the island of Manhattan, or whatever, peninsula of Manhattan, is 2.3 miles across. So it was literally wider. And what it wasn't just some big like cone coming out of the sky. It was literally like a giant tornado with 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many sub tornadoes that literally whirled around it, like some goddamn like I don't know.
That's terrifying.
Yes, absolutely terrifying. The Joplin tornado in 2011, very terrifying. It's a weird thing because it's like it's a very destructive thing. In many of these very prominent tornadoes, people were killed. You know what I mean? Their property was destroyed, and it's there's a lot of devastation, but it is also one of those things in nature. It's not like I feel like witnessing a volcanic eruption is probably like a once in a not every lifetime type of thing.
Right.
This is something that happens every spring in Tornado Alley, all over the place.
Right.
It is literally the clouds form a laser beam and just
destroy.
And it is so terrifying and yet fascinating to me. Today I caught myself thinking, maybe after the Army I should become a meteorologist. I should be a weatherman.
I was just gonna ask, is this something that you could like do after the Army? In
Maybe.
any way, shape, or form.
Maybe that would be radical, man. I could see myself with like a screen,
the green screen.
Yeah, let's go.
If you become the next Pete Delkus, that's gonna be pretty crazy.
Doppler Dave, do you remember Doppler Dave growing up?
I remember Doppler Dave.
Let's go.
What he's up to.
Yeah, for anyone listening who doesn't know, in Amarillo, Texas, we had Doppler Dave Oliver. He would come to our school and show us videos of people getting fucked up by tornadoes, man.
Dude, as a kid, I thought that was his actual name. I remember asking my mom, like, is his name Doppler?
Dave,
Dave,
Doppler.
Yeah, she's like, no, it's not.
Doppler Dave, man. Holy shit.
Well, that's cool. I totally cannot relate to any of that, but I love that you love it.
It's not. I feel like it's not quite like I've had friends who are like, I'm gonna watch videos of Al Qaeda cutting people's heads off. It's not that level of like fucked up, but there is an aspect of it that feels like, I don't know. When you watch a tornado, we talked about earlier, like literally tear a house to ribbons. Right. I mean, that's what it does. And it's just like you think about your house and all of its woody drywall metalness getting torn apart like a piñata.
Right.
It's fucking terrifying, man.
I wonder. Okay, so like our grandparents, they had that storm shelter. It's above ground, right?
My parents' storm shelter is above ground. It's
Okay.
a concrete box above ground. Our grandparents does actually go in the ground. I've been in there before.
Okay. So your parents, that one that you were just talking about, that was 2.5 miles wide or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you be safe in your parents' shelter? Or is there a limit to like what that thing can withstand?
I think if the weight is right on that thing, because there's like I was reading things about some tornadoes that their winds were so high that they literally pulled in ground storm shelters out of the ground and they were sucked up and people died.
My God.
Cody's very upset right now,
dude.
Cody's upset.
There's nowhere to hide, dude. If it wants to get you, oh my God,
There's
makes me
nowhere to
wanna
run.
vomit, man.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
Oh no.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
I've read.
wow.
Yeah, stories about tornadoes where the winds were so high that they skinned people alive. Very upsetting. Yep. Okay, I should stop. I'm not trying to upset you on purpose here.
Oh, they're worse than I thought, dude.
Yeah, they're bad, man.
Oh my God.
Not the one you want.
No.
Anyway, I've been
No.
crushing tornadoes is the short answer.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Underground, they can get you.
Scoop you up, dig you out of there like a pimple.
Can you imagine being in your safe little bomb shelter or tornado shelter underground, and then you just feel like you're on the ground and then you're suddenly flying through the air?
No, I wouldn't like that.
No.
I wouldn't like that one bit, sir. I don't know, man. I feel like the odds of that happening are like less than winning the lottery. But yeah, absolutely
Really?
a terrifying prospect.
I need to identify the location where tornadoes don't exist and move there.
You're not in it. I mean, like
No,
tornadoes.
I'm really not.
Tornadoes happen where you're at. They happen where we're in Tornado Alley, man. Dallas, low key. Like I didn't think of Dallas being in Tornado Alley growing up, but y'all have had some tornadic occurrences over the past decade.
Man, we had one a couple of years ago that was near downtown. It fucked like a lot of
I was watching.
stuff
I
up.
was watching a video about that. Like some high-rise building, like 87% of the windows got knocked out.
Down there, like in Highland Park, like the rich, like one of the nicer areas of Dallas.
Yeah,
tore through there.
the area
Fucking
where
up.
if you go to a Subway, they actually do leave a tip. That's the area that you're talking about. Yeah,
Or maybe not, dude. Some of the worst tippers are the ones with the most money.
that's true. That's true. Stingy assholes.
Well, it's been quite the episode. Where are we at?
I'm ready to do some write-ins if you are.
I'm gonna write that down. I got a story for when I was delivering pizza back in the day. A story about me delivering pizza to Deion Sanders' house.
Really?
Yeah. Tune in next week, I'll tell you.
Deion Sanders pizza. Hey Siri,
Yes.
create a reminder. Deion Sanders Cody pizza.
Here, I'll actually write it down right here. I got a list of ideas. Let's see. Deion Sanders pizza story. Well, do you want to do a couple of write-ins and then call it good? I feel like we've had a whole episode already. We didn't even get to the meat. Didn't even get to my meat.
I felt like it was meaty on its own. Yeah, let's do
It
some
was quite
write-ins.
meaty. Okay. I think we've actually kind of fallen behind on the write-ins. We have quite a bit.
You gonna drive the write-ins?
Let me get to the top, and yes, I will. Let's see.
Sorry for our video listeners. The sun went down, so now I look like I'm in like the beginning of Dune 2 right now. All of a sudden, that opening scene where everything's like black and orange.
I've been noticing the lighting slowly like drain out of that room. Okay. Boy, we're all the way back at April 17th. April 17th from Ewolf 019.
Ewolf
019. 2 questions. What's your favorite cut of steak and what's the best way to cook it? He adds there's only one answer to the second one, medium rare. I'll go ahead and just disappoint everybody right out the gate. I usually get mine medium. I think medium or medium well.
Yeah,
Don't hate me.
I feel that's okay. I think if you go, as long as you don't go full blown well, because that's just gray.
Sure.
I prefer. I think.
Patty at that point.
Yeah. I don't do rare. I think rare is only okay when you're eating like a premium, like if you're eating like at a fine dining restaurant.
Sure.
Steak at Texas Roadhouse, medium rare. That's the safest with the most pink ratio you can go
Sure.
with. Favorite cut? I love ribeye and I love chuck roast. Chuck roast used to be kind of considered a poor man's cut, but a lot of good marbling in there, and it's really good. You can cook it up like a brisket. That's the one I usually use when I'm making kind of like a brisket for two, pretty much.
How do you feel about like a filet mignon?
I like filet. I can't really make filet well. I feel like I either always underdo or overdo a filet because they're kind of a thick little puck. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Haven't really mastered the filet. I've had good fillets, but I've never made a good one.
My wife eats her steaks like, I think it's medium rare, which is wild because I couldn't be further from that.
Yeah, no, I like it a little bit.
I don't like the blood. Like, I guess I don't mind the red and the tenderness, but
it's not.
If it's bleeding, it's gross.
It's not blood. It's called myoglobin. It's in all meat. Even if you cook it, it's still in there. It's just not red.
Huh. Well, I prefer that not red. It looks like blood. It looks like blood, even if it's not blood. It reminds me of blood.
I don't like it. I don't like it rare, but I like it pretty rare. So,
snake bite pain. If you could build something to enjoy, a house, a boat, a bed, etc., what would it be?
Oh man. Well, right now, like in a very realistic sense, we have a detached garage in our new house. I want to turn that into a studio for us to do many podcastings and music recordings and video production and stuff like that. So that's something in the real world I would like to build and enjoy.
Yeah. What about unlimited resources and
unlimited resources? I don't know, man. It'd be cool to have like a barn dominium / shop, like one of those big, just like metal shops where I could I don't work on cars or anything, so I would probably just like scoot around on a skateboard and play music in there. But you know,
we have like a gym set up and a golf simulator and a bar and a giant TV to play Xbox on, and
let's go.
State of the art surround sound. Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a, not even a man cave, like a man cavern. You know what I mean?
Yes,
straight up.
Man, yeah.
Let's go.
That's cool. My first thought was like, I'm a car guy. I like, if I could build my dream car, that'd be cool. You know, I think like a house though. Like if I could design my dream house, that'd be really cool. Like I design pools for a living and sell them for a living. And so I have somewhat of like a design ability, and I've always wanted to design like what I think the perfect house would be and build that. So maybe something like that, you know, something I could like sink some time in and really think about, and design and build my dream house. That would probably be it.
That'd be a good one.
It's kind of a boring answer because it's one of the three things he asked, but
no, I don't think it's a boring answer at all. What would be like one key feature in a house you built that would like make it stand apart?
Okay, so this is a tiny little detail, but it's something about my current house that absolutely drives me insane. But I would put the washer and dryer in the master closet.
What? You are an insane person. Are you kidding me? In the master closet, you want in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep.
Who's doing clothes in the middle of the night?
You don't have kids yet.
Okay.
You don't have kids yet. Your laundry cycle is pathetic compared to mine.
Dude, I do it like once a week, maybe. My
Not
cue to do
anymore,
laundry
buddy.
is
Not
my
anymore.
cue to do laundry is shit. I'm out of underwear and socks. I have nothing else to wear.
I thought you were going to say, my
Better
cue
go
to
do
do
laundry.
laundry is shit my pants. When I
Yes,
shit my
that is
pants,
the
I'll
other
wash them.
cue.
Well, visibly soiled. No, dude, the laundry machine in my house,
Always going.
if it was in my bedroom, I'd never sleep.
Okay,
I'd never
okay.
sleep.
Well, then, if I'm designing my dream house and I have some resources, then it's gonna be like maybe you have these doors that you
Sound-
open up that are like soundproof.
Soundproof ass doors, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not super obvious like where it's at. You can design it where it looks cool. If it's not in there, it at least needs to be closer. Here's the problem with my current house. My washer and dryer are like one of the first rooms at the very, very front of the house.
Yeah.
My closet is literally the furthest room from the washer and dryer. And so, sometimes you leave some stuff in the dryer, sometimes your clothes are in there. Like it's just your closet and your washer and dryer are connected because the things that in your closet is what you put in your washer and dryer. So for those two things to be so far apart, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it doesn't make sense.
I don't want my
No?
dryer in my closet, man.
But
I feel you. There's no whisper quiet dryers. Like every
at
dryer
least
is loud.
closer. At least closer then. If it's not in there, closer. Because as far away from each other in your house as possible is not super efficient.
So is the issue going to get the laundry once it's done for you? Is that?
Well, for one, okay, so I have my hamper in my closet, right? So when I want to do laundry, it's a forge. I got to carry this laundry basket all the way to the front of the house. And then let's say I do my washer cycle and then and I'm chilling in bed. I'm like, fuck, I forgot to put it in the dryer.
Yeah.
Now I got to go all the way back to the front of the house, put it in the dryer. And then it's the next morning. I shower. I get out of the shower. I don't have any clothes. They're all in the dryer. So now I got to butt naked walk all the way to the front of the house just to get some socks and underwear. Then all the way back to the bathroom so I can keep getting ready.
You remember how, like in the 90s, all the houses, like in the movies and stuff, had like a laundry chute? Like a literal,
Yes.
like.
Oh, yeah.
Or
That'd be pretty cool.
Some of them had like a pulley system where you could like do your laundry in your basement, put it in that little pulley box, and just like
Right.
ear. I've not ever seen one of those in real life, but I think that would be radical.
I haven't either. Yeah. Okay. That was funny. So, okay. You see what I'm saying though with my
Yeah.
example? Walking back and forth. Because even the house you just moved out of, your washer and dryer were no more than 5 steps from your bedroom. So
That's true.
that's not that bad.
That's true. I made a few like naked tricks.
Imagine if your washer and dryer at your old house were where your pantry is now.
That's
Right?
a long way to
that
go,
doesn't
yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Well, forward planning never hurt anybody. I thought you were going to tell me you were like, I'm going to put a pool in the living room. But like, no, my dryer needs to be right next to my head when I sleep.
Oh, it's something you don't, until you live with it, you wouldn't know any better. All right. I think we're good there.
Yeah, that was a good one. Thanks for you guys who wrote in.
Snake Bite Pan and Ewolf 019. Appreciate
Yes,
y'all.
thank you. For anyone else, there's a Discord link in our comments or a description. Oh my God. Go to our Discord. There's a channel called Questions for Podcast. You can go there. Leave your question. Leave your statement. Leave your piece. You might get, what is it, Cody?
You might get red.
You might get red. Episode 26, man. This is huge, man. I'm so glad we're here.
Yeah, me too.
I hope
You
I
do
don't
look like you're in Dune. Kind of funny.
I do. That opening sequence in Dune 2 goes so hard, though.
Oh man,
It's so good.
dude. That lighting has changed substantially. in
I
your
know.
room.
I know. Lizan Al Gaib right here coming at you live. Hopefully I don't get blown away tonight.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Want to say thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching, please like, subscribe. If you're listening, audio only, leave us a review. Tell us what you think of the show. Leave us a little star rating. It helps us bumps us up in the queue a little bit, gives us a little more visibility. We sure do appreciate it.
A little more juice.
A little more gas in the tank, you know what I'm saying? I want to wish you all little Baja blessings upon your little foreheads. Little kissy wissy. We'll see you next week. Episode 27. Can't wait.
Yeah.